This current issue of Rattler has a really strong children's rights focus, and we've particularly looked at the National Quality Framework and the great things that are happening around the reforms within the National Quality Framework and as a result of the implementation of the National Quality Framework. And we're looking at it from a perspective of, from a service perspective, and also from the perspective of people who are responsible for that higher level implementation of it around policy implementation, but also addressing where it might be faltering and not going so well. From that perspective of looking at children's rights and what it actually means in the sector at the moment, we seem to be making some really good gains, but we never seem to have those embedded well enough for it to be an ongoing part of policy reform. So we take small steps forward and then we just don't go the whole distance with our policy reforms. So what we see is great policy rhetoric, and then the implementation seems to falter. So the important aspect of children's rights within this issue is bringing that back to what it's all about, which is about children, and making sure that that is the centre of the policy argument, and then from there everything should flow. And every article in this Rattler is really looking at what it means for children, what these reforms, the funding models, the way it's being implemented mean for children. But to get children's voices really firmly embedded in this agenda, we've got a number of campaigns that we're working on in this coming year. One of those obviously being the New South Wales state funding model, which we believe needs significant improvement in order to ensure there's universal access for children to education and care, education predominantly. And the campaign is really around providing a strong funding model that is a strategic funding model to ensure that services are well funded, that they can staff their services appropriately, and that all children can have access to early childhood education and care, which is essentially the broader goal, the broader national goal. So it's ensuring that there's state funding for state funded services to actually implement that goal. So we have a great spotlight on NQS Area 3, physical environments, and we're talking specifically about sustainability. Sue Elliott has written an article on sustainability and talking about it in terms of a less tokenistic approach to sustainability and a sociological approach, actually really reinforcing those aspects of sustainability which are less about your worm farm and more about the whole focus of your practice within the service, the way that you think and do things within the service, how you think about staffing, how you think about your practices within the service that pursue sustainability. It's fantastic that we've got Kate Ellis in our as a face-to-face in Rattler, and what's interesting is her reflections on her childhood and her experience of education and care, because I think it really highlights the importance of those relationships that everybody has. It's very important to us to have a strong relationship with government, because we know then that we can have some sort of influence on the goals of government around education and care. And in keeping those links strong, we hope that we have a voice that is listened to as well. We can also give some of the messages around what we think is not so great, and hopefully that's taken on with the best. I suppose it's taken on in the best way because we have those established relationships as well. Our interest in establishing those relationships is to ensure that great things are implemented for children and for families in education and care, and that I guess that's influencing good policy outcomes. The feedback for Rattler is always that people love Rattler for a whole range of different reasons. People love to give it to their staff so that they can talk about, so that they can focus on things of importance, and it's, some have said it's a piece of artwork, which we do agree with because the design and the artwork is absolutely beautiful. Rattler's an opportunity to really enjoy and relish those opportunities that we have within the sector, and to, I guess, take great joy in reading about the sort of practice that we see that we really value. So to all of our Rattler readers, of course, we say thank you for reading, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for being members, because it allows us to produce a better product and to keep improving on Rattler. And in things coming up in terms of Rattler and what we're going to be writing about, we're always writing about contemporary issues, and we're always hoping that it has an opportunity to have a say and look at things from a different perspective, but also for people to be really engaged in what is a great sector and enjoy those elements of the sector that really build on education and care practice.